Hello, everyone. I'm Kelly Covert, and I am here with Symphoria Concertmaster Peter Rovit. We want to talk today with you about our upcoming classical Christmas concert, and particularly the Corelli Concerto Grosso that's being performed. Hi, Peter. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Kelly. How are you?
Wonderful. And so we thought that we would talk a little bit about this piece because it's a different kind of piece that Symphoria wouldn't usually typically play because it's a smaller group of instruments as well as no conductor. So, Peter, why don't you tell us a little bit about the piece itself?
Well, it's one of Corelli's Concerto Grosso. It's probably the most famous one, I think, because it's nicknamed the Christmas Concerto, and he actually did write it to be performed on Christmas Eve. Um, Concerto Grosso, for those who don't know, is basically sort of like a cross between a symphony and a concerto. So you have two solo violins who sometimes are playing their own parts and sometimes they're playing together with the section. And in this case, it's only a string section. Corelli's Concerto Grosso are for only for just strings. They're all lovely. They're all wonderful. In fact, we did one a few years ago on a casual concert that was a lot of fun. This one is probably the most famous one because it's titled the Christmas Concerto. People always like things that have titles, and it's very beautiful.
hmm And so the solo instruments are, like you said, two violins, which will be played by you and Amy Christian,
Right.
and then cello, correct?
Yes, and then sometimes the cello is also the solo instrument as well.
hmm So, what will people expect to see on stage? Because, like I said, there's no conductor. How will everything stay together? How will this happen?
Well, a conductor, all the way up until Beethoven's time, um, the way that orchestras were led was not really standardized. So uh, oftentimes an orchestra was the concertmaster, oftentimes, who would just kind of conduct. I don't have my violin here, but would sort of like show the beat and show the rhythm with the scroll of his or her violin. Um, Sometimes I think that I've read accounts of like sometimes that Haydn would conduct his symphonies from the keyboard, so he would play along, and I don't know, maybe he would have like a piece of rolled up music and he would wave it around, or then there's poor Jean-Baptiste Lully who used to keep time for his orchestra by banging his staff on the stage on the ground. Have you heard that story?
I have heard that, although I think it's funny that you called him poor. I think like probably the poor orchestra members.
But the reason why I say poor Lully is because he would bang the staff on the ground to keep his orchestra in time, and one day he hit his foot,
That's
gave
right.
himself a wound on his foot, and then he got gangrene and died as a result of it.
Oh,
So, so that's
all
one of
for the
those
art.
famous composer deaths.
hmm
It's a small ensemble, which makes it easier for everyone to hear one another. And when one can hear one another, um, when everyone can hear one another, you know, you can, and you can you can play together. So
hmm
it's good to have a conductor, but it's some of these Baroque pieces are sort of on the borderline between chamber music and actual symphonic works, and so you can play them like they're chamber music.
I love that. And what it makes me think of is we just performed the Beethoven Triple Concerto. How is a piece like this Concerto Grosso different and the same as that?
Oh well, um, well, obviously the Beethoven, the solo parts are much more extensive.
hmm
Uh, they're much more extensive, and sometimes the orchestra is just very much in a supporting role or not even playing while we listen to the solo parts unfold their long their long solos. And in the Corelli, it's a more tighter back and forth. There's smaller moments, shorter moments of solo work. Um, it's all more connected. I can't say this. the Beethoven and the solo parts aren't connected to the orchestra, but it's more they have more their own roads to follow, and then sometimes the orchestra's with them, and sometimes it's not. And then the Corelli, everybody's playing together more interwoven.
That's very interesting. So, as the concertmaster, you will be the leader, if you will. Is this something that you enjoy doing? I know that we are looking forward to a casual concert in the spring where you also are going to be leading a Baroque program similar to this with like from your music stand. How do you feel about this? How does it differ in your normal role?
Well, obviously, in if I'm leading, or with any piece of chamber music or anything like that, you show the rhythm more. You have to rely, you rely on looking at one another, and everyone sort of showing the rhythm, maybe moving a little bit more. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, there's a lot of Baroque music that's just I love. Well, I love playing it. And there's a lot of great stuff that's not even really that, like, it's not generally known. So I'm looking forward to the March concert. Fingers crossed, all goes well. Looking forward to that, because there's some stuff that people will have not heard, at least know about Handel and Corelli, but there'll be some other stuff that is probably people have never heard of. That's really loads of fun. And,
Well, I love how we're giving a little taste here so everyone can hear it, and then what their appetite for what's to come. I'm curious to know, for you, what do you love about Baroque music? What makes it some of your favorite kind of music to perform?
it's hard. It would be hard. It'd be hard to, I mean, good music. Good music is always fun. Um, I suppose there's there's a lot of Baroque music that has a very dance-like quality to it. That and that's one of the things that I enjoy about it. And that's probably also one of the things that makes it also easier to play without a conductor, is because when there's a feeling of gesture, and when there's sort of a dance-like quality to a piece, it's easier for everyone to sort of feel the gesture and feel the rhythm. So that's one of the things that's one thing I like about it.
And what are you looking forward to, particularly in this Corelli, the Christmas Concerto? Is there a movement that you like best, or is there some sort of spirit that you're really enjoying?
Oh, no particular parts. It's all lovely. The thing about it that makes it that people may not know, that makes it kind of Christmassy, that actually makes it Christmassy, besides the fact that it was just written for the occasion, is, I think, the last movement, which is what's called a pastoral, which is sort of music in imitation of shepherds music. And so Handel has a famous one in his Messiah, and Corelli has the last movement is a sort of a slower, gentle pastoral. What makes it sort of shepherd's music, I'm not sure entirely. There's the use of drone pitches, long sustained pitches that imitate the sound of some of those old instruments that would produce drone pitches, like the musette or the hurdy-gurdy or something like that, where we just put out a perfect fifth or a sustained pitch, and then you'd play over that. So there's that aspect of it, and then there's the rhythmic aspect of, those of you who know music, the dotted eighth within 3 triplet eighth notes. That's a dotted eighth, 16th note, eighth note. So yum, da dum, dum.
The lilting.
That lilting kind of rhythm. So that's also part of the pastoral. So that's a lovely movement. There's a lot of the movements are all fairly short and really colorful. Corelli was really the first violinist composer superstar in the Western tradition of music.
Well, Peter, this sounds lovely, and we think you're a superstar violinist, and we're so lucky to have you here at Symphoria playing with us and leading us. And so I hope that everyone has a chance to listen to the concert, to come and watch the concert live stream. It's December 12th at 7:30, and you can get your tickets online at experiencesymphoria.org. Peter, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kelly. Looking forward to it.